The Friday Morning Rant contains coarse language, adult themes, and satire humor. So, if you can't handle it or not into it, then piss off, Jack. You're in the wrong show. It is the Friday Morning Rant with Shanehalfyard. It is Sunday, March the 10th, 2019. But it's the Friday Morning Rant. Why is it being recorded on Sunday? What's going on? What do you? My whole world's all shaken up. Nah, geez. No, what happened was my poor wife Girlie was sick as a dog. She's still quite sick, but she managed to go to work today. So I don't have like a private room, an office, or any of that jazz to go in and make my videos. I have to make my podcasts, my videos, my little cartoons in the bedroom. And I wasn't going to sit here and rant and rave about something and talk about something while my wife is trying to sleep, you know? Well, doesn't that make you a bit of a pussy? You have to do what your wife says? No, it doesn't make me a pussy. It makes me considerate. Fuck's sake, guys. Oh no, she was bad. I think she's still quite sick, but she managed to go to work today because she's a trooper. But my God, I don't understand. I told her to stay home. She doesn't want to listen to me, but you know, I'm a man. I don't know anything, so why bother? But anyway, it's Sunday. So before I go into my main topic, yeah, I've got a few things to talk about here because I'm bored and it's for shits and giggles. And you know what? It's my show. I can do it. You know, you can have your own show. Talk about what you want to talk about. I don't know what's wrong with me today. It's early morning. Oh, since it's Sunday, March 10th, 2019, I hope you all remember to spring ahead if you're in North America. Okay? Remember to set your clocks an hour ahead if you're in that time, in that area. I think most of Canada does it. I think there's a region. Is it Saskatchewan? Is it Saskatchewan doesn't do it? Ah, jeez. Do your research, Shane, before you start talking. God damn it. Anyway. So if you're in North America, set your clock an hour ahead. Remember to do that if you haven't done already. I think most phones do it for you now, but you know, just in case, just so you know, you just lost an hour of sleep. Congratulations. So, oh geez, a couple weeks ago, I can't remember, not too long ago, we had that, at the office. It's kind of I think it's a North American thing. I don't know. It could be an international thing. I didn't pay attention. But it's anti-bullying. So you buy this pink shirt. Okay? I think it's like $20. No, whatever it is. And you buy this pink shirt. And then you wear this pink shirt. And that's you saying that you will not tolerate bullies. Wow. I didn't buy a shirt. I don't believe in shit like this. Just like the other day was International Women's Day. I don't believe in that. And before you jump on my nuts, people, I also don't believe in International Men's Day. I just don't think those deserve a day. I'm sorry. So I was asking some people at work. I says, why did you buy the pink shirt? Well, it's to support bully awareness. Well, who isn't aware of bullies? You telling me there's someone out there that isn't aware of bullying? How can you not be aware of bullying? You were all kids. All of you. You were all children. You all know about bullying. You all know about it. Okay? Look, you want to stop bullying? Do you really want to stop it? Okay? Here's what you do. Right? I can tell you right now. This is just my theory. I'm just spitballing it. But raise better kids. Now, I don't mean better in a morale sense. I mean better in a self-esteem sense, right? None of my kids were ever bullies. None of them. They're not bullies. You know why? Because when I come home from work, I don't sit down in front of the TV and grab a beer. I hug and kiss my kids and ask them about their day. We still eat dinner at the table. We talk about shit. We talk about life. They can come to me about anything. And I truly believe that's part of the bullying problem. I think bullies stem from a lack of respect somewheres in their life. And sometimes it can be even physical and mental abuse. Right? So those kids, right? They're home. They're not feeling listened to. They're feeling angry and they're feeling weak and they're feeling, like, oh, fuck, my mom doesn't understand me, or oh, shit, my dad's an asshole, and or my older brother's picking on me and really roughhousing me up, so I gotta find someone to take this out on, just motherfucker, and that's what they're doing. So raise your kids, right? Don't let the TV do it. Don't let the tablet do it. Take care of them. Let them come to you about stuff. Do activities with them. It doesn't have to be outdoors. I know a lot of you people don't want to go outdoors. Or it doesn't have to be a physical activity. So long as you're playing with them, right? And you're interacting with them. And you're encouraging them. And you're building up the self-esteem. Now, my first son, I screwed up a lot with him. Because I think you're always going to screw up with your first one. I'm sorry, but I think you are. It's just one of those things. And I made some mistakes with him. But by the time he was 14 years old, I realized those mistakes I made. And I did everything I could to mend the bridges between us. And he and I have a great relationship now. We even work together at the same place. So, am I claiming to be the perfect parent? No, no one can claim that. All I'm saying is try it. Give it a go. Right? Love your kids. Okay? Take care of them. I'm not saying you don't love them when you come home and want to have a beer. And I'm not saying coming home every night, having a beer while you're watching TV, or wanting to relax and unwind and take some me time isn't a bad thing. But why can't you do it after you put them to bed? Like, why can't you sit with them at the table? Tell them, ask them about their day, give them a vague idea of what your day was like, and just talk to them. Because trust me, if you get them distracted and you're talking to them, that's when you can teach them. Right? That's when you can teach them the stuff that you feel they need to know. Because if they're eating or if they're playing a board game with you, they're not fully focused. And so I think they're absorbing more. And again, I'm just spitballing here. I mean, I could be wrong. If any child psychiatrists out there want to ring in on this, do so. Any parents out there want to ring on this, do so. You want to call me wrong? Call me wrong. It's fine. But tell me why I'm wrong. Give me a good reason. Show me some facts. Give me an article to read. Do something. Don't just go, hey, you're an idiot. Now, International Women's Day. Again, I don't support that. I don't support International Men's Day. I don't support, anything like that focuses on a group, gender, or race. And the reason why is because that's a double-edged sword. You may be bringing awareness to some, but others are giving them a focus on hate. Because you know what's out there right now? There are men out there who don't know that there is an International Men's Day. So when there's an International Women's Day, they start going, why is there an International Men's Day? And they start acting like a bunch of dickholes. And you're not really educating them. You're just kind of, I don't know. This is just my theory. This is what I think. But I think you're just kind of stoking the fire, Do I believe that certain women should be celebrated? Of course. Madame Curie, she's definitely one of them. I don't know. I didn't research famous women, but yes. And if you want to make a holiday for some of them, you go ahead. That's fine. I have no problem having a holiday or a day for someone who, did something, accomplished something, or was a prominent member in history. But groups, fuck that. No thanks. So anyway, back to my bullying story. I had people at work go, hey, why aren't you wearing a pink shirt? Don't you want to support anti-bullying? And I had that asked a couple times, and it made me, I said, look, I'm starting to feel a little bullied. So, maybe you ought to back off. Holy hell. So, last night I watched a movie with my wife. We watched Hereditary. Heredity? Yes, Heredity. And I think it came out in 2016 or 2017. I'm not 100% sure. Now, I love horror movies. And this one made me jump a few times. It wasn't so much like what it did, but what it didn't do. It just built up a lot of suspense and a lot of stuff going on there. But it was also one of those what the fuck movies. I liked it, and I encourage people who haven't seen it to watch it. But I'm watching it, and there's a bunch of stuff going on. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, holy hell. So my understanding of the movie is this. A grandmother dies. And this little girl starts seeing her grandmother all over the place. And then she dies. And then, a whole lot of stuff happens to the older brother. And he's all spooked shitless. And the husband's all spooked. Everyone's all spooked. The mother thinks she's a medium. Then, I don't know. I don't want to spoil too much. It just went around that kind of thing where you're like, what? Just get to the scary parts, and it did. It definitely made me jump a few times, and horror movies like that really spook me because I'm not afraid of zombie movies. I'm not afraid of vampire movies. But ghost movies spook me, and I love it. That's why I watch them. So I recommend the movie. I do. I liked it, but just be prepared for some what the fuck moments. Oh hell. So, before I get to my other topic again, I'm going to talk. I got a letter. I got an email. Someone took the time to write me. And I'm just going to bring it up here and I'll read it to you. Okay. This is a comment about a video I made last week about feminism. All right? So, here we go. Dear Shane, you asshole. That's how he said it. I think asshole is hyphenated. I think it's ass then hyphen hole. I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. But anyway, I got the point. I got it. I'm an asshole. When I found your Do Men Need to Change video. Funny. Okay, when I found your Do Men Need to Change video funny and thought maybe you were all for men's rights. I just listened to your feminism video and you did a complete 180. Pick a side, dickhead. Signed, Greg Smythe. Okay. That's it. That was the entire email right there. Well, Greg Smythe, if you're listening. So since I assume you're not a subscriber and you didn't put I'm a subscriber in the title, I can't put you down for the draw. For your chance to win $25. But to address, I don't think this is a question. It's just a very harsh criticism, Greg. I'm a little hurt. Look, Greg, fuck off, okay? I didn't do a 180. This is what I did. I did a video on Do Men Need to Change addressing the Gillette commercial where I found it very, I don't know. I just found it more putting down the good men than trying to help us, trying to raise us up. I mean, it was a very condescending pile of shit. Okay? And then I did a video on feminism last week where I talked about the types of feminism I dealt with in my life. And then I didn't want people to think that those psycho feminists you find on YouTube are what feminism is. It isn't. It is not what feminism is. It is a movement where women are trying to achieve equal rights, equal pay, all the stuff that everyone else would take for granted, all the men take for granted. Do I believe sometimes it goes too far? Fuck yeah, I do. I believe in that. I really do. So, but I didn't want to say that it was all bad. I mean, come on, people. When I talked about how those psycho feminists out there, the real psycho ones, the ones that scream, holler, and just seem to want more than equal rights. They seem to want to be the dominant gender. I made sure to say, look, you can't include them. It's like including the Grand Dragon of the KKK to represent all white people. And that's all I was trying to do. I'm trying to get you guys to keep an open mind. Plus, here's the kicker, all right? If you want someone to see your side of things, starting off by calling them an asshole isn't the way to do it. Okay? That's not the way to start an argument or a debate or anything. So, I'm sorry, Greg. I gotta tell you, I'm sorry that you don't like what I did, but no big loss. That's you obviously missed the point, or maybe you got the point and just didn't care. So, again, fuck off, Greg, and that's it. that's all I got. Now, I'm going to talk about men going their own way, or MGTOW. Is it MGTOW? Whatever, doesn't matter. Men going their own way. Now, this group was started in the 2000s, and some people say it's from Australia, but it's a group, an online group mainly, that I found anyway. And I found some interesting videos that support it, and I found some interesting videos that put it down. But essentially, it's men who have sworn off women because they are afraid. Okay? And what are they afraid of? Well, some of these men got royally fucked in divorces, or falsely accused of rape, or whatever. They had a bad experience, a bad breakup, whatever. Do I agree with this movement? Do I think men should swear off women? No. Do I think that they're going a little far with it? Some of them are a little crazy. They actually, some of them are saying women shouldn't have the right to vote. Some of them are saying, and those are some crazy people. But that isn't the group. It's the same thing as the feminist thing, guys. That isn't their goal. Their goal is, look, women, you do your thing and we'll do our thing, and just don't bug us. And that's fine. That's their choice. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I can understand. No, I really can't even understand it. I love women too much. But, they got hurt. They're in pain. So, what do you do about that? Well, there's nothing you can do. Time heals all wounds, education, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. A lot of them are blaming the laws. Because a lot of the laws are on women's side. Like a woman in Canada, a man can't get raped, okay, by a woman. There's no legal precedence for it. In fact, if a woman raped a man, then she could turn around and say he raped her, and can cause a whole lot of problems. So, there are some laws that are messed up. And some of those laws are being kept in place by feminist groups, by the extreme ones. There are a lot of feminists out there that want equal rights on both sides. But, yes, definitely the divorce tends to favor the men because of alimony, and a lot of times a lot of women will end up more ahead than a man does. In fact, I read one where from Men Going Their Way, that he said that he spent his whole life with this woman, his adult life with her. He built up a reputation in his field of business. He ended up making a lot of money, but since it was of his own business, he had to work 60 to 70 hours a week. He comes home. He finds his wife fucking the shit out of some younger guy and saying, I'm leaving you because you're not the man you used to be and you don't spend any time with me. But, you know, he bought her everything she could possibly want and need. You know, she had her own car. She had all her own credit cards. You know, he looked after her. She was a stay-at-home mother, or I don't know, mother or not, maybe that, but stay-at-home wife. Well, now I don't know the whole story about that. That's from his perspective. But yes, from his perspective, he got fucked over. He ended up losing the house. He ended up paying a ton of alimony. And I don't agree with alimony. I don't. I think alimony is one of the worst things out there. But men, we shot ourselves in the foot when we did this, because alimony was created by the men a long, long time ago. Because you see, men out there, they'd get tired of their wife and they'd want a divorce, right? But women weren't really allowed to work. So, you want to leave your old wife for a new young hot wife, you had to pay for that. Because she wasn't allowed to get a job. So you had to make sure she was comfortable and taken care of. Well, that law stayed into effect, and it kept going on. And now, there are men nowadays that pay it. And it's ridiculous. Like, here's how I think a divorce should go, okay? This is how I think all marriages should go. If you go in, man or woman, I don't care if it's man or woman, it doesn't matter. Let's just take gender out of it, right? But say one member of the marriage is about to marry another, is going to get married, right? They're going to get married. But one member is coming into this worth $10 million. And the other person's coming into this worth $0. If they get divorced 2 years later, that person going out of it shouldn't get half of that $10 million. They didn't earn it. They didn't help make it. They didn't support the person while they made it. They didn't do anything. But, say in that 5 years, that person who came into the marriage with $10 million increased their fortune to $20 million. Then, that person who's leaving the marriage, if they're getting a divorce or whatever, should get half of that $10 million earned. Because yes, they were around. They did the cooking, cleaning, the fucking, all that stuff that would contribute to a healthy relationship to that point. Now, there should be some sort of legal precedent for this, because why is it? And women, don't just say because it's the law. Don't say, oh, because it's legal and that's the way it is. No. Give a good reason. Bill Burr challenged this out there too. Give a good reason why the person get the divorce who came in with nothing should get half of everything that was earned prior to the marriage, right? Give me a real good reason, a legitimate reason. No, don't just say it's the law. Don't just say it's that. That's what I want. That's what some of these men are upset about. They're getting into these relationships. Some of them are very wealthy, and they lose half their shit, right? Stuff they spent a lifetime building up, and it shouldn't be that way. But again, I'm all for the half down the middle. Like if you bought a house together, and say one wants to keep the house, say the wife wants to keep the house, well then she should give him half the money of the value of the house. It should be that way. It shouldn't be, well, no, that's your problem. You go now. No, it shouldn't. Right? Now, this is not to say I don't support child support. I believe you should be paying child support. You made the kid together. You help support the child. That's just, common sense. Right? What I don't like is those men out there that go bragging about, well, I take care of my kids. I pay my child support. I do this. I do that. Big fucking deal. That's what you're supposed to be doing. You don't get a medal for that. Shut the fuck up and do it. That goes for women. Right? There are women out there. They go out drinking in the bars every weekend. I deserve some time away. No, you don't. You're a parent. Raise your fucking kid. Get out of the clubs. Stop shaking your ass and raise your baby. The same as the men. They're out there doing the same thing. Raise your kid. Worry about that. I'm not saying don't date. I'm not saying don't look for a girlfriend or a boyfriend or whatever you're looking for. But, don't go to the bars every weekend. Grow the fuck up. I'm a little, I don't know, maybe I'm bitter. I was a father at 18, so. But yeah, so these men, they're going their own way, right? They don't want nothing to do with women. Some of them say they still want to work with women and even possibly date women. They don't go to the extreme where they have nothing to do with women. But what they're afraid of is the legalities out there that hurt them. But again, men, we shot ourselves in the foot. Most of those laws that you're talking about, we made, right? We made before women had the right to vote, or when women were just getting the right to vote, and they kind of stayed in there. And now there are those crazy feminists that want to keep them in there. So we got to change those laws first. Those laws need to be changed. It should be changed so everyone has an equal footing. Okay? Because most feminists don't want you to not see your kids. Most feminists don't want half your shit. Most feminists don't want to cripple you financially and emotionally. Right? It's just the freaking crazy ones out there that want to do it. So, what do you do, right? So, I watched some videos. That's what I want to talk about now. I watched some videos. And I picked 2 videos I'm going to review. All right? The first one is by Christy O'Misty, is it? Or was it Christy Zero Misty? I'm not sure. I'll put the link in and you can tell me. And, before you start going, why can't you tell a zero from an O? Well, I'm almost blind, so piss off. That's why I can't tell, all right? But she didn't come out and say she supports men going their own way, but she did basically say she understands where they're coming from. She understands that, the way the laws are set up, men can get easily fucked over. And I'm just paraphrasing. She didn't swear like that. She's a much nicer person than I am. But she understands that. She understands why men are doing this. She even understands this is a logic step. A logic step to a defense against, really overbearing feminists. Okay? So I listened to her video and I agreed with some of her points. I understand where she's coming from, and I respect that she was, openly taking, men's side on this one. And there's a lot of women on YouTube that are openly taking the side of men, right? Some of them are quite strong feminists. And I was pretty impressed when I saw that. I was very happy to see that it hasn't gone so far that the line hasn't been drawn yet between men and women. And I'm glad, because, like I said, I love women. Love them. And I don't I don't want to give that up. So I'm trying to keep the ground neutral here, fellas. So Christy O'Misty made a very good video talking about what she feels about men going their own way. She supported some of their ideas, but she also didn't support all of it. But she did admit it, that she sees where they're coming from. And I thought that was a very open-minded way to look at things. It's just the same way. I feel the same way about feminism. I don't agree with all they're saying and the way they're going about it in some cases, but I do see where they're coming from, and I agree with them in a lot of points. And then there's this Rachel Oates. Is it Oates? Yeah, I think so. Rachel Oates. Oates. Is that Oates? I think so. Anyway, so it's Rachel Oates. I'm calling her Oates. Her video was not so open-minded. In fact, she just spent time looking at the most extreme guys from men going their own way. And what they don't get, and she looked at their views from Tumblr. Like, she didn't go to men going their own way web pages. She didn't do any real research. She just found some really nasty comments and said, well, this must be how they all act. And, her opinion on the matter is, she wasn't taking this group seriously. And I think everybody should be taking this group seriously. Because what's going on is this group is available now on the internet, and there are young men learning about men going their own way And some of them, as teenage boys, are swearing off women already. Okay? That's not good. That is not good. They're reaching the kids at a young age, young men, and saying, hey, this is wrong. Women suck, blah, blah, blah. Or, relationships suck, blah, blah, blah. And, no. Toxic relationships suck. Having a woman take you for everything you have sucks. But they're also, on the other flip side, having a man punch a woman in the face because she burnt the pot roast sucks. So there are some, extreme cases on both sides, folks. But she looked at one man, and women don't deserve the right to vote, and he went on like that, and she goes, well, and then she said to put that guy down, and she read another thing, and she put that guy down, and then she put another thing, and she put them down, and, in a very sarcastic way, and she didn't do any real research. She was just going for the views, going for what she thought was funny, and, Rachel, you weren't funny. Rachel, if you listen to this, you're not funny. I'm not saying you're dumb. I think you were quite smart in what you picked. I think you picked the most moronic statements to show that this group is a bunch of morons. Well, you're doing the exact same thing as the men in this world that you despise and think you're better than do when they take the most hate-filled feminists and only show them. So, I'm sorry, but your research was flawed, your opinions are flawed, and I don't recommend this girl's video. I will post it, though, because, you should see where I'm coming from. But, what does this mean for us as a society? Like, where do we go from here? Well, for both men and women, know your rights. Okay? Learn your legal rights in your area about ending a relationship or, how things work. And if you're on the verge of a divorce or a separation, understand that just because you can take that person for everything they have doesn't necessarily mean you should. Breakups are hard. Ending a relationship is hard. There is pain, there is suffering, and both sides want to hurt the other. My suggestion is you get a mediator. You sit down with an open mind. And you say, look, this is the stuff I think I should have. This is the stuff you should have. And hammer out a deal that both people can live with. That is fair. Stop going for alimony. Or palimony. Because there's a thing called palimony. Right? Because both sides now, there were cases where men are getting alimony. And that is not right either. Most times when a breakup happens, one person or other, both sides are hurting. There's usually not one person that is fine, the other person is devastated. Usually. I'm sure it happens once in a while, but usually both sides are in a lot of pain. So what you need to do is, before you sit down with that mediator, is remember at one point you loved that person. At one point you thought that person was your whole world. And try not to be devastated that it's over, but be happy for the things that happened that were positive. And I know it's better. It's easier said than done. I understand that. I mean, I've gone through 2 real brutal breakups. Right? And if you're thinking, oh, well, Shane, you don't know what it's like because maybe your breakups were just fine. No, they weren't. My first major relationship was with a woman who I had my son with. And when we broke up, she did the completely normal, insane thing, as in she took my son and disappeared for 6 months. Yeah. Okay. I had no contact with him for 6 months because she figured, hey, you know what? Let's just go. Right? So, yeah. No idea what was going on in his life for 6 months. That's what she did. He was 6 months old when they left. He came back a year old. Right? And then, on top of that shitstorm, she, was constantly abusing him. And she would go through these phases where she couldn't handle him. So she'd send him to my place to live for a few months. But conveniently, it was every summer. Isn't that convenient? That her mental breakdown where she couldn't handle the children in her life was during the summer? The most party time of the year? That's funny, isn't it? So yeah, I've gone through. And then my other ex, she did some horrible things too. I'm not going to get into that because my daughter isn't 18 yet, so I still have to deal with her on a weekly basis. But she did some horrible things as well. And I'm going to make it clear here. In both breakups, I also wasn't Prince Charming. I didn't go to the extreme of kidnapping my kid and taking off, but I could have handled things better. I didn't know that my son's mother was mentally ill at the time. I just thought she was a bitch. Had I known that she had some real issues, I would have handled the breakup differently. And it's the same as my current ex. There were things I could have handled better with her as well, right? I allowed my feelings for her get in the way of a lot of things. She came out and told me multiple times that she only wanted to be with me, and she didn't want my son involved in our life. But I thought, okay, I'm 19 and she was 17, almost 18. So I thought she'd grow out of it. That's a lot to take in. So I ignored that. But she was up front, and I ignored it. So there's some of that on me as well. But do I hate those relationships? Oh no, I would never not have those relationships. I learned a lot from them. I loved them both deeply in my own way at the time, and I wouldn't change a thing at all. We have grown civil. We're not friends, but we get along. Like my daughter's mother, she and we talk. She does wonderful things to help me out. When my wife was away for 6 weeks, she took me to the grocery store because I'm almost blind. And so, getting there and back and, saved me some cab fare. She also helped me with finding groceries that I could find, or she'd drop Eleanor off, and Eleanor would help me find the groceries while she had to run her errands, and then she'd come by and pick us up after her errands were done and drive us home. So, that we got to a point where we get along and we work hard together as parents. It wasn't easy. It didn't start off that way. Like, we weren't pals the moment we broke up. But, in time, when we healed, we were okay. And she's with a very great guy. I like him and respect him a lot. And she has 2 beautiful babies. And, she's living her life and I'm living mine, and we're doing well. But that took work. And if I had to follow up the philosophy of just, going my own way, it may not have been that way. So, men out there, if you're in pain right now due to a breakup, and women, understand that will pass, and it will heal, and you will be all right. Don't take up these crazy philosophies about having nothing to do with women. There's, you're really hurting yourself more than you realize. Anyway, that's all I got to say about the subject. I don't know what else to do or say about it. I said my little, 2 cents or whatever it's worth, probably half a penny, and, and I believe in it. I do. I believe the only way we're going to make it in this world is if we work together. Excuse me, had to get a drink there. So, hopefully next week, I'm going to try. I've got The Little Red Pill coming to me. That's a movie, I guess, for men's rights, because men's rights is an issue, I guess. I don't know. I never had any problems with my rights. Well, once. I think I talked about it once. I'll talk about it next week. I'll reiterate it. But other than that, take care of yourselves and each other. So, until next week. Hopefully this Friday I'll be up and running. My wife will be feel better. So until this Friday, again, take care of yourselves and each other. Bye for now.